Good morning, fifth graders. And if you can see outside my window, it's actually night that I'm recording this, but you will be seeing this in the morning on April 7th, 2021. So, the first thing that um, I want you to know is that today we're going to focus writing, on our writing. The second thing that I want to tell you is that there is a question in ELA reading that I would like you to answer about the Willoughbys and Number the Stars. So if you could go there and answer the question, I'll give you a little space that says your answer, and then you're going to answer the question. Basically, what I'm asking is, since the Willoughbys and Number the Stars are written by the same person, can you tell that they're written by the same person? Does it surprise you that they're written by the same person? Um, so that kind of thing. How are they different? How are they the same? And so I just want to look at those kinds of things and see um, what you think about that. There is the information there for filling out the 40 book challenge log if you have not already done so. So the page number, the author, and the title of the Willoughbys is there so that you can fill that information in, and you'll already have one book down for the 40 book challenge progress, which is awesome. The last thing that I want to say before I get into our lesson today is that you need to read 15 minutes for during class time and fill out your R2S in your ELA notebook, and then 20 minutes for your assignment. So yesterday you only had to read 20 minutes. That was all I expected from you. But it really is about 35 minutes that I'm expecting from you to read today. You may break that up any way you would like to. Absolutely your call. But 15 minutes for class, 20 minutes for your assignment. Okay? All right. Let's look at today's lesson. So last week I had you give me a sample of a fiction narrative and a story. Today, I want to talk about what is a fiction narrative. So, a really great example of a fiction narrative is The Willoughbys. We just read The Willoughbys. It is very much not a true story. So, you will find this in ELA writing, just like we have for every other writing unit that we've done this year. If you go to classroom, go to ELA writing, and it should be right on the top. And you can open up your fifth grade fiction writing. You will have your own, and you're going to go to slide 3. And you are going to put in the notes that a fiction narrative is a story that did not happen. And I'm going to put that in all capital letters because it is very important for us to know that a fiction narrative did not happen. Now, would we say that the Willoughbys is realistic, as in it could happen? Or would we say that it's unrealistic, as in there is no way this could happen? Well, I hope that you are all saying that it's not very realistic, because it's not, right? Number the Stars was definitely realistic. That absolutely could have happened during World War II, right? So a story can be realistic, meaning it could happen, or it can be unrealistic, meaning there's no way this could happen at all. So if you think about stories that have talking animals, stories that have magic, stories that have superhuman strength, they're superheroes in them. Those are all unrealistic, right? Those couldn't happen. But stories that have people doing everyday things that people do often, that's realistic, right? It could happen. So when we think about some examples, the Willoughbys is an example of unrealistic. And Number the Stars is an example of realistic, right? We often call realistic fiction. We talk about realistic fiction. That's a story that could happen, but it didn't happen, right? All right. So that's what we want to talk about today. I want you to see if you can think of some other fiction narratives that you can put in examples. You could probably fit at least 5 more examples of fiction narratives. So it can be books that you've read or stories that you've read. And I want you to think of at least one unrealistic fiction narrative and one realistic fiction narrative. So you can add 5. At least one of them should be realistic, one should be unrealistic, and then the rest are going to be realistic or unrealistic. But I want you to do exactly what I did right here, where you wrote the example and then whether it was realistic or unrealistic. Okay, so I would like you to think about that and fill that in for tomorrow so that we can keep on talking about those things. Let me know if you have any questions at our meeting at 11 o'clock. The Zoom link is on your daily sheet. See you later.